Hola muchachos, welcome back to a very fun video. If you didn't know, I gave birth. This is baby Elizabeth Lee. If you're new here, then you probably didn't see my birth vlog, which I will link down below, and that was the video just before this one. And it's my whole birth, including her being born. I had a natural at-home water birth, which was totally my dream birth. That's something that I always wanted. And then when I had Ivy, I wanted it. When I had Calvin, I wanted it, and this time around I really want to make sure it happened, and praise the Lord, it totally did. I wanted this video to go up a little bit sooner, my birth story and my meet my baby kind of video. After I gave birth, I wanted to give myself a good week and a bit just to settle and to recoup and properly heal and just take some time to have a little bit of a break and just kind of take care of myself, take care of my kiddos and my husband, which honestly he mostly took care of me the entire time, which was really great. He always knows what I need and he always caters to my needs. So really, he took care of me a ton and is still taking care of me since Ellie has been born. And of course, taking care of little Ellie has been pretty much the first thing on my mind. She's frowning right now. Aww, Ellie. She always kind of has like a frown on her face. I think it's really cute though. She always just, I don't know, she always looks like, So I hope that you guys like this video. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. I do mama videos, lifestyle videos, health videos, and I need to get into more beauty videos. I need to kind of start getting back into that a little bit more because I love doing those kind of videos. So yes, be sure to subscribe. If you're new here, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this video. So quickly, meet my baby. Just like I said, her name is Elizabeth Lee. Lee comes from my mother-in-law. Her name is Shannon Lee, and we wanted to honor her and put her middle name into Elizabeth's name. So that's where the Lee comes from. It's just L-E-A. And then Elizabeth, me and Kieran have always liked old school names. Ivy was actually gonna be named Elizabeth, but I was pretty hardcore going for Ivy. I really like that name. Kieran wasn't too much into it, but he agreed, and I think he agreed because he saw me go through labor and he was like, yes, you can have whatever you want, Sarah. So we named Ivy, but always had Elizabeth in the back of our heads, and that's who this little person is. So we've always just liked the name Elizabeth because it's a very old school name. We like it because there's a lot of nicknames that you can get out of the name Elizabeth. I like Ellie and Liza, that's what I've been calling her. Kieran calls her Ellie most of the time, and Ivy is pretty set on Liza recently, but usually we call her baby Ellie, and she is so sweet. Definitely the easiest kid so far when it comes to sleeping and eating and pooping and all of that stuff, which is a huge blessing to have in baby number 3. We'll see how long that lasts for. Elizabeth was 18 inches long when she was born. They usually say anything under 20 inches is not short, but on the shorter side. All my kids, I think, were 18 inches long, maybe Calvin a little bit more. And now Ivy's kind of tall and Calvin's getting there. So, but they start out small, which was cute. And when she was born, she was 6 pounds, 6 ounces. So my smallest baby so far, Ivy was 6'14" and Calvin was 6'15". So praise the Lord. I've had all my babies under 7 pounds, which really does make birthing them a lot easier. Ellie is about a week and a half old right now, and she's back to her birth weight, I think. She's still pretty small. All of her newborn clothes are still a little bit too big for her, but that's really nice because she will be growing. I mean, she grows every minute. Like, kids are like transformers. Like, when they're born, they just like droop, 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 droop. It's absolutely crazy. So this is Elizabeth, and I'm obsessed. I'm so obsessed. Ivy is crazy about Elizabeth, just the idea of having a younger sister, and I completely relate to Ivy when it comes to that. My little sister Rachel, like my best friend, like so cool. So to see Ivy just love on Elizabeth so much, really beautiful for a mama to just experience that and to see that. Calvin kind of just looks at her like she's an inanimate object, like, is she real? Is she not? Is she staying here? I feel like those are the main thoughts that go through his head. Kieran is obsessed. There's something about papas having little girls that's really sweet. sweet. So anyway, so this is Elizabeth. Thank you very much for all the well wishes and all the love towards me and Elizabeth this past week and a half. I feel very blessed and very overwhelmed. I'm just crazy about all you guys, so thank you very much. But we're just gonna go ahead and hop into my birth story. So at 37 weeks and 4 days, I started to get a lot of cramping. So much so that I was having to not breathe through it, but definitely just breathe properly in general. I had to really sit down and relax. My cramping was not consistent though. I would have some that would last for 5 minutes, I'd get an hour break, they'd come back for a couple minutes, and then they'd go away after 10 seconds, and then back after a couple more minutes, and then away for half an hour. It was all over the place, so I didn't think that I was in true labor, but maybe this was the beginning. Early labor can actually last a couple weeks, which is absolutely crazy. So I thought maybe I am in very early labor. My body's just getting ready. I did not think I'd be going into labor and having baby the next day though. I was still only 37 weeks and 4 days, but that was according to my ultrasound dates. And I've talked about this before. My ultrasound dates put me at December 25th for my due date, which is Christmas Day. But my conception dates put me at December 10th, and that would have been my full 40 weeks. So if you're going by my ultrasound dates, I was 37 weeks and 4 days. If you're going by my conception dates, I was 39 weeks and 5 days. So I was having a lot of cramping. The day before I did some walking, and to be honest, that morning I did have a pineapple smoothie. That was not to induce labor or anything, but that was just because this whole pregnancy, and same with my daughter and my son, I'm always craving citrus fruits and acidic fruits and oranges and pineapples. I'm obsessed with them. Grapefruits and limes and lemons, they're so good. So I was like, I'm just gonna make myself a big pineapple smoothie. I don't think that really brought on labor. Some people think pineapple can induce labor. Maybe it does, but I didn't have it for induction purposes. My midwife said, have as much pineapple as you want. If it does induce labor, it only will induce it if the baby is actually ready, just like most induction techniques anyways. So I did have my pineapple smoothie, and I would say about maybe 7 hours later, that's when I started getting cramping. I didn't know if baby was coming soon, so I just decided to shower, get myself ready, clean up some things, and just prep some stuff just in case baby came. But really, I didn't think Ellie was gonna come at all. Fast forward, I went to sleep, I'm feeling fine, my cramping is dying off just a little bit, but it wakes me up at about 1 a.m. So when I'm pregnant, if something wakes me up, I'm usually up for the rest of the night, if not for 4 or 5 hours. Just really hard for me to fall back asleep. Felt a lot of cramping, and I thought I was just gonna sit on my exercise ball and honestly edit some videos, answer some emails, and that's what I did for about an hour and a half. I would have gone for longer probably, but my cramping got way too intense. So I decided to grab my phone and sit in the bathtub, and I was having my phone just in case I needed to either call the midwife, but also I had my contraction timer on there just in case I wanted to use it. So I got into the bathtub at around 2:30, nice warm water, and it started to soothe some of my contractions a little bit, but at this point I didn't think I was actually in labor. I've had this a couple times in this pregnancy where I would have cramping and I would just kind of be like, oh, it's just cramping, like I can go in the bathtub, I can have a heat pack, it'll soothe itself and it'll go away. But what I noticed this time, it was not going away, but it was progressing and getting very hard very quick. At about 3 a.m. I'm in the bathtub still, and at this point I'm all by myself just because I'm not gonna wake up Kieran, because I really did think I was in false labor at this point. I didn't think this was real, but man, it was starting to hurt. At about 3:30 I called for Kieran, and he came in and he started helping me because I wasn't okay. Like, I really wasn't okay. I was sore, I was having contractions, but I didn't think it was real labor because I didn't feel Eliza moving down. I didn't feel any sort of dilation or opening of, honestly, just like my birthing canal. That all still felt like nothing was happening there, but my contractions were intense. At about 4 o'clock, Kieran suggested that we start to time them, and I was like, yeah, okay, sure, let's time them. So we were timing them, and they were lasting for a minute, and they were about 2.5 minutes apart. I kept saying, don't call the midwife, like this is totally false labor. It didn't feel like real labor, even though they were the most painful contractions I have ever had in all of my labors. I didn't think it was real labor just because I didn't feel any sort of dilation happening. Oh, she's kind of snoring. Oh, you're so sweet. Okay, here. And yes, Eliza has very dark hair. I never had dark-haired babies before, so she's so cute. It's like the male pattern baldness on top, and then all the hair in the back. It's so cute. Anyways, but I kept insisting to Kieran, don't call the midwife, don't do it, don't do it. And then one contraction just kind of pushed me overboard, and I was like, we need to call the midwife. Like, what am I thinking? It's also early in the morning, I haven't slept in a while, I'm having continuous cramping, and I'm feeling kind of loopy. Like, you just feel kind of weird at that point. And I thought if I called the midwife, even if I'm not in labor, she can let me know if I'm at least dilating, what's going on, see if baby's doing okay. So Kieran calls, the midwife comes, my midwife Shannon, she delivered Calvin, and she did a lot of my appointments with Ivy as well. My midwifery has 4 midwives, so it's kind of whoever's on call. So we got Shannon, which I was really excited about. She listens to baby, and baby's heartbeat is fine, and then she checks my dilation, and she says I'm at 7 centimeters. That was pure music to my ears and to Kieran's ears. It was like, I'm not in false labor. I'm not working towards nothing. I'm going to be having this baby soon. That was so encouraging. My determination and my stamina just went from like 0 to 50. I was full on ready to have this baby. And I always dilate very, very fast once I'm after like 6 or 7 centimeters. My dilation is just like boom, boom, boom. I knew baby was gonna be in my arms within the hour for sure. At that point, it's about 6 o'clock, and I've been having these contractions for quite a while. I loved being in the tub. It really, really helped with these brutal contractions. I ran hot water into the tub every little bit just to get a bit of more of a warm flow because it cools down quite quickly. Kieran, my husband, he was there, and he was helping me with different positions, putting pressure on my back, lifting my belly. One of my favorite positions was when we held hands and he lifted my body up and I worked against him and pulled down. It really somehow firstly helped me not think about the contraction that I was having, but it helped me focus and just put more attention towards pulling up and almost releasing like my torso area. So it was really comfortable. Kieran, you know, if you want more reasons to love Kieran, a lot of my viewers really, really like Kieran, and I'm with you, me too. Go watch my birth vlog. He is a huge encouragement through my whole birth, just reassuring me that I'm beautiful and I'm strong and I'm capable, and the Lord has made my body to do this. Everyone that watches my birth vlog, like my friends and family, are just like, man, Kieran was just awesome. Kieran was just on it, and he's really learned through my labors, and this was really amazing, and I was so thankful to have him. So at this point, Kieran calls my mom because I wanted my mom to be there for the birth. He also calls my sister, and he was about to call my doula, but she lives 45 minutes away, and I knew she wasn't gonna make it. He was gonna call my mother-in-law, but something happened. I think everything just started really like quickening. So my midwife Shannon is starting to set up all her stuff in the bathroom because that's where I was, in the tub. My mom comes, she's helping me labor a little bit and putting some pressure on my back. I start feeling a head, and I'm like, I need to push, I need to push. All of a sudden this head is starting to come through, and I'm saying, I need to push, I need to push. My mom kind of backs off, and my midwife is standing close by, and Kieran is right like almost in the tub, like he's leaning over the tub with me. And I'm in a little bit of a squatting position, which is actually really great to get your baby out. I'm in like a kneeling squatting position, and all of a sudden I feel and hear a pop and a gush of water, and I was like, Kate, my water just broke. I was feeling like I was gonna get another contraction soon. I was about to start pushing, and baby's falling out, and I am not pushing at all. I couldn't believe it. I did not push baby out. Ellie fell out. The water, the amniotic fluid, the whole sac was really what was holding her back. As soon as that let go, she just fell out. I saw her head come out and I was like, no way. And I'm like, okay, I gotta grab her. This is what I always wanted. This is my job. I need to grab my baby. So her head came out, and then I kind of put my fingers around like where her shoulders were gonna come out, and they just, like, she just dropped. She just flew out, and I picked her up and I pulled her to my chest. My midwife put a hot towel or a warm towel on us, and I was in shock. To have a baby and not push is crazy. That's absolutely crazy. To have a baby all of a sudden naturally when you're thinking that you're in false labor is absolutely crazy. To be done so quick was a miracle, and is always, like, it is a huge blessing. My labors just always happen so quick, and it's a huge blessing because it is quite a significant amount of pain, especially if you're doing it naturally, which is what I did. Just to get through it so fast is always God's gift of mercy. That's really what I think. Baby Ellie was in my arms. We found out it was a girl, which was really sweet and really exciting. And I said through my whole pregnancy, it's gonna be a girl. It's gonna be a girl. I said the same thing with Ivy, and I said the same thing with Calvin. It's gonna be a boy. So far, I've been right this whole time. Ellie was born. She was quite purple, and I wanted to make sure that she was breathing good. And my midwife was like, no, she looks great. She's perfect. We cleaned up, and I think the nicest thing about having a home birth is that you don't have to transfer from the hospital back home. You're just at home the entire time. You're where you want to be. You're so comfortable. The fridge is there. You have your own shower. It was quite lovely just to have a home birth, to remain at home the whole time. And as soon as I gave birth, I think the kids woke up maybe 10 minutes later, and they were able to see baby Ellie pretty much right from the womb. It was so cool. It was so exciting. I love that the kids were there. My sister didn't make it in time. She was like 10 minutes late or something, or 10 minutes after Ellie was born. So she didn't make it, but she was pretty darn close. And it was an amazing experience. And I'm so thankful for this birth and just the ability to share my birth story and just know, I'm not gonna get emotional. Just know it was all God. And He takes care of His children, and He loves us, and for Him to gift me with such a beautiful birth and such a beautiful postpartum healing. I want to do a postpartum update for you guys and just tell you how I'm doing. How everything unfolded and happened was the work of the Lord, and I'm very thankful. I'm very, very thankful. Okay, little one, anything you'd like to say? Anything you want to say to the people? She's a squeaker. She squeaks up. Yeah, see, she's like a door hinge. Our little hinge. Mwah. Thank you guys very much for watching my birth story video and my meet my baby video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My boobs are so sore. I need to feed this girl ASAP. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked it. Again, my birth vlog is linked down below if you want to check it out. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.